When I hear the name Nami, I often think the Bernie. Comes straight to mind, a scooter with superior build quality, speed, acceleration, handling. But what if Nami made a lighter, smaller scooter, but still obtained all those great things that made a Nami a Nami? An idea that has sparked and lit the flame into what is now called the Nami Klima.
I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life and I won't look back ever again. You ain't see me activated.
What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to DC Unplugged, and today we're reviewing the Nami Klima. So let's change this time of day and let's get straight into this review. And just like that, the wonders of editing, we're now in daylight. So we have the Nami Klima here in the flesh, in the daylight. It looks amazing with the sunlight. I know you guys would have seen just in the rolling shots in the intro there. This thing does not disappoint on its looks. It's still just as beautiful as its bigger brother, the Bernie 2 Max. We're going to run through some quick specs on this scooter. It is a 60-volt system, unlike the Bernie. So I've weighed this scooter, and on the website it says it weighs 38 kilograms. I actually put it on my scales at home, and it actually weighs 37.4 kilograms. So that's pretty neat. It's definitely a lot lighter than the Bernie and a lot more manageable to pick up, as well as we've got 5,360 watts of power here, guys. Like, that is some serious oomph. It's light. Like, look at this. It's light. It's so good. So it is 38 kilos. I understand that might be a little too heavy for some people, but considering what this thing can do and how fast and all of its range and stuff like that, the range on this scooter is 65 kilometers of range. This particular one, we have the 25 amp hour. So it isn't the top spec one. There is a 30 amp hour, and that one's claimed to have 85 kilometers of range, which, Nami being Nami, it wouldn't surprise me if either 1A, it gets over that kilometer rating, or 2, gets on it spot on. Let's get you in close. We'll start from the top of the bars and work our way down. There is a lot going on up here, but trust me, it's very, very necessary. Of course, we'll work our way down to the deck and show you some really cool features about the scooter. I'm sure you are very keen to have a look at some really cool features of this scooter. So we'll get you off the tripod, we'll get you in close. Also, guys, I'd just like to point out, if you are liking this video, please like and subscribe. It definitely helps me out a lot, guys, more than you believe, and it helps me create and make more content on cool new or old scooters just for you guys. And again, I also have a Facebook page too. You can go on there and inbox me there if you do need any questions or you want some more in-depth stuff. Feel free to message me on there. I always love talking to you guys. I've had a couple of you ask me a few questions, and I've been able to help out a lot of people. So don't be afraid, definitely give me an inbox and I'll definitely help out as best as I possibly can. Starting from the bars. So I think we might start from the left-hand side and work our way over. So we've got our rear lever here. We've got a pad here, which just got the power, mode, and your up and down buttons. Now the up and down buttons, if we look at the screen, this just controls your mode that you're in. Now the cool thing about Nami is they've already preset all of these to basically be 20% increments. So if you're in E mode, you get 20% more, 20% more, 20% more, and then you have full power in X mode, which is actually preset really, really well. Of course, we've got this beautiful display. It's just like the Bernie. I love it. Tells you a lot of information. You got trip, OD, how many kilometers it's got. We've got G-force meter as well, which does work. Trust me, this thing pulls a lot of G's. We've got a volt readout. We've got average speed, but obviously we're not moving at the moment. It also tells us the front and rear motor temperature. So at the moment, this one's the rear temperature, and we've got front temperature, nice and even. And we're back to trip again, which is great. And obviously your speedo here on the outsides here, you would see that when we started up in the first start of the video, it tells you what the front and back controllers are working in that area there. So how hard they're working, which is pretty cool. Moving across, we've got our NFC reader. So this, you grab your little keys here, which is cool. This is very new to Nami. We've got our NFC card reader, which looks really, really cool. It's like all carbon kind of textured, which is pretty sick. And as soon as you touch that, it either turns the scooter off and turns the scooter on as well. So if we hold that there, it should be starting up. We've got that beautiful startup screen. Moving across from our NFC card reader, we then got our traditional indicators. Yes, this scooter has indicators only on the rear. We have a horn, which is very, very loud. Headlights, found exactly the same on the Nami Burnie, extremely bright, and we've also got trail lights as well. So if you turn them on, it actually lights up a little blue symbol saying your lights are on, which is really nice. And of course, we've got headlight just here, nice and bright, very, very bright, 2000 lumen headlight, so that should be more than suffice of a nighttime. We've also got down the back here, that's our brake, our lights, and then if I push the brake lights, we get our brakes and brake lights and indicators, which is cool. And left side, very cool. Of course, up here, fitted with Logan hydraulic brakes, both front and back. There are only 2-piston hydraulic Logans, so we've got front and back brakes here. And just below here, we turn that light off. And just below here, we've got our accelerator. So when you pull the brake lever, obviously that cancels out your accelerator, which is always a good little tip for anyone learning from home, or just turn the scooter off. Moving down, we've got a nice sturdy steel pole here, or alloy. I'm not too sure what it really is. I think that's alloy. And then we've got down this folding mechanism here. This one's really nice and easy to use, and depending on if you're OCD or not, you can move this around to wherever you like. So if you want it facing backwards, and then you want it facing and then closing it that way, or if you want to spin it around and have the bolts facing towards, you can clamp it down like so. The cool thing about these, and why I don't mind this, is if you wanted to add some extra lights and you made a bracket here to make a light, you can actually slide that behind it and then tighten it down, which is really, really cool. Simply to fold the scooter down, you just slide this up like so, all the way up, and the bars simply fold down. Now they do stop and they hit on this, so you actually can't hit the screen, which is actually kind of good. However, there is no locking mechanism for this, so you can't actually lay this down and pick it up from the bars. You do have to physically grab both sides and actually pull it up. You do have a bit of a hand grip, a little less than what I would prefer. I'd prefer a bit more to grab onto to lift this scooter up, but you do have something there, or you can grab, you know, here, or, you know, swing arm, but try to not lift them from there because you might get your fingers jammed. Same thing, but in reverse. We just lift that up, slide it across, pick our location. I'm going to put it at the front because that's what I like, and I like the aesthetics of that. And we just simply clamp it closed. Nice and simple. Here's our charge port. Of course, the little Nami little logo there too. This is spring loaded, so as you can see here, there's a little spring. So Nami have thought about, you know, instead of those little plastic covers, you just pull the charger out and boop, covers it nicely up with this little cool little flicky boy thing. Coming down, of course, we've got those dual piston Logan brakes, 140mm discs, and these cool little swing arms reminiscent of its bigger brother, the Burnie, but we've got a cool little accent here. How cool. Got the little Nami snake head there. We do get sliders as stock on this scooter, which is really, really cool. We don't have to worry about the threads getting smashed up if we come a gutser on this scooter, which wouldn't surprise me because some people might find this scooter very fast in acceleration.
Little Nami labels there as well.
Yeah, and there's a little Nami label in there too, which is really, really cool. Again, beautiful tubular work here, guys. We've got some nice welds, nice tubular frame that runs along. These bolts here, this whole deck here is just simply your battery. Your controllers are sitting in here. Then we go around to the back. We've got this nice little kickstand here, which looks beautiful. It's got all these like little cool little notches, and it's very Nami looking and getting aggressive. So we then roll down here. Nami has this thing of just using LED strips and brackets and stuff like that. So I actually don't mind this. A lot of people don't really like the unfinished look, but I actually really like it because it's very industrial, very aggressive look, and all these arms and everything just ties in really, really well. It's got, again, little Nami logos up here. It's a little bit dusty because we've been riding it, but little Nami logos here, and just really cool little touches. And again, on the back, we've got those Logan 2-piston calipers with 140 mil discs. Up the front and the back, we also do have those beautiful shocks carried on over from the Nami Bernie, which we can adjust our dampening, not rebound. This is only for dampening, so the way how fast it drops down, not raises back up. I've already gone through and tuned the suspension and got this to actually cater for my weight. And yeah, this scooter comes up and feels absolutely amazing. Just look at it in this beautiful sunlight. All those black contours and stuff. It's just a beautiful scooter to look at. It really is. And Nami always have a very, very cool blacked out aesthetic. Me personally, I don't like black scooters. So if I was to actually personally own this scooter, this would probably become a different color. But that's just my own preference. But very, very cool looking. Klima in the deck there. Of course, the Nami logo. Very, very, very grippy grip tape too, which is nice. But yeah, just an all-round beautiful scooter. We've got a little gap in there. If I turn the steering there, it just goes right the way down. Very cool. Very, very cool. Super nice scooter. So enough for talking about the scooter. You've seen the scooter. We've ran through some stats. I think it's time for a ride. For that, I'm going to patch onto my shirt here and we're going to go for a ride together and see how this thing goes in the real world. Let's go for a test ride. All right, guys, it's on. Let's go. Let's go for a ride on this mean thing. We are in, I'll put it in S mode for the time being. Let's go for a scoot. Oh, I'll tell ya, this thing is super nice to ride. That suspension, oofed, and those tires are so smooth. Wow. Yeah, this is nice. Oh yeah, and it wheelies pretty good too. Yeah, this is nice, guys. Super nice. It's in S mode at the moment. I'm not too sure if you guys can see that screen, but you can see those two like little half circle things. If I accelerate, it goes right around. That's just telling you how the controller's going and stuff like that. I wish I could go up there, but I've been told I'm not allowed to take this thing off road. Sad panda. Sorry, guys. But we do have a pretty good hill climb coming up. Of course, activating that turbo mode. Yeah. This thing feels so nice. Actually, it's super nice to ride. Like, yeah, wow. Sick. Actually, I wonder if I can wheel it really good. Yeah, definitely doable. Definitely doable. All right, guys, so cruising along. Got a nice bit of footpath here, a nice little hill. The next one's coming up. Let's give it a bit of a rolling acceleration. So we're chilling at 15 here. Let's give it a burl. Oh, wheel spin, yeah. Oh, 0 to 50, not a problem at all. This thing's got some pep. For a 60 volt, man, this thing moves. It is so good. Now with the suspension with these Namis, guys, is you've really got to set them up to your own weight and have them like really set up. So, oh, there goes Annalise with a Midnight Purple Lightning V1.5. Yeah, you just got to really set the suspension up for your weight, so then that way everything's dialed in. That's the reason why they have the not aftermarket suspension, because I guess it's factory, but it's all there for you to set up and pretty much make this scooter your own, which is really cool. But yeah, again, on a hill, accelerate, bit of wheel spin at the front there. Yeah, this thing moves. Oh, 56, we'll stop it there. We're gonna do a top speed run there, but ran out of road. What a view though. Yeah, that's sick. Now, I always find top speed runs a bit of a cheat if you go downhill. We are currently at, what does it say, 60% on this battery. But yeah, man, I'm telling you guys, this is one hell of a scoot for the price. I'll see what a speed I can get it down this hill, even though it's cheating. Acceleration mode. That acceleration is nuts. There's that 65 claimed. We've got 72, 73. Yeah. All right, we'll pull it up there, that's enough. Not bad. That is downhill, of course. I find that cheating. So, if I find it cheating, what does it do going uphill? All right, do a U-turn. No one around. So you can see the hill there, guys. Let's go for a blast. Oh, yep, 32k an hour already, man. That's nuts. There's that 65. Is it gonna hold it going up the hill though? Oh, it's dropping. 62, 58, 57, 56, 55. You know what, 55 up a pretty good hill. I'm impressed. That's really, really good. It's a decent hill. Yeah, man, this thing's got, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna pull over for this last part. I have to, this is cool. The acceleration on this thing is impressive. For a 60 volt scooter, this thing moves. This is cool. It's a Nami Klima, guys, come on. What an awesome scooter, and the price is not bad. Wow, what an awesome scooter. All right, guys, so that is some very impressive stuff on this hill. Even coming up this hill, this thing still managed to keep 55 kilometers an hour. Impressive at 60%, guys. Not even at 100%, which gives me a great idea. So what if this thing accelerates so well, what if we grabbed its bigger brother and put it head to head with it at 100%? It's giving me an idea. Let's make that happen. So let's go and switch over to the racetrack and do exactly that. Let's do it. Just for video reference, this isn't to bag or anything like that about the scooter. In fact, the only reason why it's here is I think it's one of the best 52 volts that money can buy. And it's here just to simply show you to how quick these other two scooters are in comparison to the Cyclone Pro. We have, of course, the Klima. We have the original OG, the Nami Burn E2 Max. We're gonna stack them up at the start line and let's see how these things can go. Let's do it. Okay, so we all knew that was going to happen. That was pretty, it was pretty standard to happen. But what I found really interesting, and I'm sure a lot of you did too, is to how close and how well the Klima actually kept up with its bigger brother, the 72 volt Burn E. So in all thing, it wasn't a complete waste of time. It was actually really cool to see how quick this little thing is to keep up with its bigger brother that is well known for its acceleration and top speed. And for this little guy to do, and what it did just in that video, is extremely impressive. So do I rate this scooter? 100%. This thing is so nice, and it's light, it's manageable, and you can do long range trips with it. It's super comfortable to ride because you can adjust the suspension exactly how you want it and how you want it to feel, and respond in certain bumps. And it just looks amazing. So it's a scooter that's pretty much good for everything. If you want it to be a cruiser, dial it down a couple gears. Let it be soft and subtle and slow. And then if you want to dial it up to 100 and have a bit of fun, you can. This is just an all-round, an amazing built, beautiful scooter as usual, made from Nami, and it handles beautifully. It's so nice to just tip over. It doesn't try and fight you. It just does exactly what you want it to do. It is one of the best 60 volt scooters I have tested, and I definitely rate this scooter, guys. So if you all liked this video, please feel free, like and subscribe, do all those beautiful things, and we'll see you all in the next video. We'll see you next time. Cheers.